My name is Shanna Brown, and I am the host of the Grief Wise podcast. Did you know 1 in 3 adults struggle with unresolved grief? This podcast speaks to real-life loss with wisdom, warmth, and purpose. The Grief Wise broadcast is a faith-infused podcast offering hope-filled, honest conversations for those navigating life after loss. Grounded in lived experience, clinical insight, and a belief in the power of growth through grief. Whether grief comes from death, divorce, disappointment, or life's unexpected turns, I help listeners process pain with truth, faith, and resilience, blending clinical insight, spiritual encouragement, and lived experience. Grief Wise provides a space where healing is sacred and hope is always within reach. Hello, and welcome to the Grief Wise podcast. I'm your host, Shanna Brown. Thank you for joining us today as we share in our grief stories. Today, our guest is Kristin Tomasello. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kristen, to share your story.
Thank you.
So, Kristen, can you tell us who you lost, when you lost them, and the relationship that you have with this person?
So I lost my grandmother, Gigi, a year ago, June 2nd, 2024. I went to nursing school, so I had a little bit of background taking care of her. But my grandmother fell September 2023, and she broke her femur. And it kind of onset her dementia really quickly, and we couldn't leave her alone. So I was kind of one of the caregivers on the schedule. And she was a very important person in my life. My grandmother really impacted me growing up, and I'm very grateful that I was with her the last day she was alive.
Yes, I know. So as a caregiver, there's a lot of people out there that are in your position. We're in your position of caregiving and being that person that is with them 24/7.
Oh, yes.
And can you walk us through the journey as a young girl, what that was like? I know you went to nursing school.
Right.
And I know that you had said that you felt like the whole point of you going to nursing school was specifically for Grandma Gigi.
It was, because I only got to take care of the geriatric section of my schooling. I never got to do like med surg or mom and baby. It was like that when I was in COVID, we had to do everything online. So right. I had a lot of experience taking care of the older folks in the nursing home. So when it was like that was happening with her, it was like I was able to kind of help my family have a schedule, put everything together, label everything with her medications at a specific time, making sure that we had all the codes correct, because I know the codes, I guess, and you have to kind of keep the city
organized.
Keep the city also involved too, in case she runs away, which I was like, well, we're all here. She's not running away. So with her being there and my life kind of stopping for a minute, I felt it was a blessing, and really mentally difficult at the same time, which a lot of us can say that it's not easy taking care of them. But at the other side, when they pass away, you have such a gift to be able to say that you were there with them this entire time. So when they do go,
And you were taking care of her for a year?
Yeah, it was 10 months. It was 10 months. It was 10 months.
So as a young lady, you're 26 at the time, 25?
Yeah, I was 26, turning 27.
And you're the full-time caretaker.
Yep.
And as a young girl, how did that impact you? Did you feel lost for a while? Did you feel like you were separated from friends?
I had those moments. I did. I definitely felt that I was like, I'm young. I need to go be with young people. But I think when I look back as I've been healing from that, like, not that I didn't feel like my life was, taken from me, or there was moments where I'm like, my life is like just this.
Yes.
How do I even have a moment to breathe? And then I kind of just got into the whole church thing and just kind of would use church as my outlet.
Yes.
to kind of just really decompress that whole stress.
Did you feel like the Lord was calling you to a higher calling at that time in your life as her granddaughter, to be the one, to be her, eyes and ears?
Well, my family was very involved. So,
Okay.
We were all, very much a unit, making sure that she was okay. But I felt it was actually for more of me. Like, it was kind of like my launch pad is what I called it.
As an adult.
Yeah. Taking care of her and just making mac and cheese for her when she wouldn't eat it. It was frustrating.
Right.
It was frustrating. I'm 27 years old telling my grandmother that she needs to eat and I have to feed her, but she doesn't want to. But you can't get mad at her because she doesn't know where she's at.
Yes.
So I would have to make up these stories and do all these dorky things just to get her distracted, take her in car rides to make her think that we're going to go see my grandfather who passed
You
away.
told me a little bit about that. She would
obsessed.
want to go riding around in the car.
Looking for my grandfather.
Wow.
So that was the kind of the annoying part, was when she was wanting to run away at nighttime. Yeah. I was like, Wea, Nano's coming home. And I felt like it was for...
Didn't you say you learned Spanish too?
Yes.
That's beautiful.
I can't quote anything because I haven't practiced in a while, but she was like, where's your grandfather? Where's your grandfather? From the start of sundown until it was time to go to bed. And I'm like, Wea, where do you think Nano is? I think he's at work, and I'm lying to her, and I felt so guilty. And then I was like, but then I would tell her that Nano passed away, and then she would cry. So then I was like, I can't even tell her that he passed away. So, and then I was like, okay, we're going to go to Krispy Kreme donuts. And that was
That would make her happy.
That was our ongoing thing, was Krispy Kreme donuts or going to where he used to work. And I'm like, okay, Wea, we're going to go. And then it's 10:30 at night, and
That's priceless.
I'm out there, and she's like, oh, well, he's not at work. Where is he? And I'm like, I don't know. We're going to just go to Krispy Kreme again and see if he's there. I'm like, okay, then let's go back home and see if, he's at home. Why don't you go to sleep? I would have to take her down this road of just, this is it. This is the imagination land that I have to go on with you.
Yes.
Just to get you to go to sleep, just to get you to eat. And I think that was the part that was so mentally draining, because we don't know there's no rule book. There's no handbook that says you do this and they're going to respond to you.
Yes.
They're not all the same, and they all have a different upbringing. So
exactly.
That was
you kind of have to tailor it towards the individual,
right,
and who they are as a person.
Absolutely.
I noticed that you had written about it had given you more compassion, more empathy, more understanding towards the world.
Yep.
So how did that impact your life? What is the impact that you would say that you've gotten the most out of this, as far as day in, day out of everyday living? And your zest for life.
I think that I think about everything that I say more than ever.
Okay.
Because people wouldn't know that I'm taking care of my grandmother, because at the time I just finished competing for Miss Florida, and you would think that it's oh, you just finished competing, you got glamour, makeup, hair, you're doing all these great things, but really we don't know the depths of everyone. We don't know the depths of people's story.
We never know what's behind the eyes and the smile.
Nope. And how long it took to even get to that place. Because now it's when I smile, I'm not faking it. Now when I smile,
It's genuine.
I feel the love of Christ.
Absolutely.
that was the whole thing that I felt like I was missing, was when I took care of Gigi, it kind of made me think about less of me, and she was suffering.
Yes.
Really bad.
Yes.
And how many of us always feel that way, or how many of us have to watch somebody go through such a hard time?
Yes.
And I don't think that we prioritize what we say matters.
Yes.
And how we make people feel matters, because how we've talked, you've impacted my life.
Thank you.
Your story impacted my life. And it's like, we should be focused on that, because I wouldn't know how much you went through. Same with me.
You never know. You never whether you're the grocery store, you can be anywhere in life, and you might be that last person's smile. You might be the last person to say, I care. You might be the person that says you can make it. Because there's a lot of people out there that, they're looking for that. They're looking for that smile. And they don't know what you're going through personally. But that's the joy of the Lord. Because when we go through these grief journeys, He takes us from, glory to glory. He takes us from here to the other side.
Always.
And it's in the hard parts. It's probably in the nights that you're all alone with your grandmother, and it's just the two of you in that silent place that God is actually growing you and you're here today telling her story. And you probably didn't know that back then, that you would be sitting here telling your story to help so many people out there that are actually doing the same thing that you did. And some people do this for year after year after year. And I just want to say thank you. And thank you to all the caretakers out there that do this, because you are kind of an unsung hero. It's that person that you just don't see. Like you were saying, you were in the competition and you're in the front of the camera, but the real joy that you were probably getting at the time, even through the hardship, was in the silent places with Gigi, with Grandma Gigi. So I wanted to ask you, you had said a couple things that really touched me about, going to nursing school and feeling like that was the point of it, was to take care of her. But also you've had your own personal grief and your own health issues. And our daughter, Brooke, who we lost, she had lupus, and she also had a blood disorder. And that affected her so deeply. She played flag football. She was one of the number one players in flag football. She had so much life to live and so much ahead, but her condition kept her in the hospital, struggling, asking why. So I would really love for you, if you'd like to share about your experience with lupus and how that also affected you, and all of this building up to taking care of your grandmother.
Thank you so much for sharing Brooke's story with me. That was a very touchy story for me, because I felt like wasn't going to make it either. There was times where I just would love for my story to have ended, because it was so hard
and painful. Yeah.
But I hope that I get to be part of her legacy as well. So, wow. So when I was 17, I broke out in hives randomly one day, and it was just kind of a fluky thing. And I just kept going in and out of the hospital with severe migraine, severe pain. I was a cheerleader in high school. I went to Steinbrenner High School.
Okay, I'm familiar with Steinbrenner.
I was going to be a cheerleader in college. They were already scouting me. I was taking, college classes in middle school. I did my PE in 8th grade for high school, so I went to.
So you were ahead of the curve.
So that was my goal, was to be ahead, and I'm sure she was the exact same way. 100%. We were, we have a lot of life and we have a lot of fire when we have that pain and that I don't know, that I feel like it ignites us to be more. And it was just, I felt like that was it. Like I wasn't going to go to a normal college. I had to go to, junior college, and that I felt like at the time I felt like my life was taken from me. Because
it's a normal young girl experience to feel that way. You were only 16?
I was 17.
17.
Yeah, I was 17 when I was going through the treatments, like the in and out of the hospital, getting IVs, EpiPens, trying to get my hives to go away. Nothing was working. They gave me Benadryl every 4 hours because they thought it was a severe allergy, and then they thought it was a psych disorder. So then I was going down this lot of different treatments for mental, and it wasn't working, and it was making me get more rashes and pain. And then they put me on stomach medication. They put me
Just
on
one thing after another.
prednisone, which you already know how dangerous that treatment is long term. I gained so much weight from that.
Steroids and all of it. Yeah.
Yep. And the inflammation, you get that the Cushing syndrome.
Yes.
Had that. My face was so round my senior year, because after you gain all that weight, it was really traumatic. I used to look at myself in the mirror. I was like,
right. What's going on? Why me? The grief wise.
Or like, I'm not beautiful.
Oh. And you are beautiful.
But it's like, you think that it's going to just get better overnight. And it doesn't get better. It takes years, because, I refused to take those medications anymore.
Yeah.
I refused. They weren't working for me. It was making everything worse.
And you have the insight to know this, which is a wonderful thing. I'm sure the Holy Spirit put that in you to know this is not working for me.
That's why I went to nursing school too, I studied so hard, because my first quarter of school, that was like the basic fundamentals. I failed my first class because I couldn't stay awake. I was falling asleep every single day because I couldn't stay awake. And then I learned that I was extremely anemic. And literally, as I'm reading, I'm like falling asleep in class, and I'm reading about anemia. I go and I get a high potent iron pill, and I start taking that, and my migraines went away. And same with the sleeping issue that I had. I was fine. I got an A in the second time I took it, which was a miracle, because I was like, I went from an F to an A. It's like, glory to God.
Yes.
But that was the really hard part, was like, I couldn't, like, there was a time where I couldn't even get up without the room spinning. It was really hard.
Do you believe that the hardship that you experienced at such a young age, because you've had a lot of things happen. You said your father at 12 years old
he got leukemia.
Had leukemia.
He collapsed in front of me.
Yeah.
I feel
So you've had some really tough things that have come along. But I believe, and I believe you believe this at some level, that was preparing you to be the caretaker for your grandmother.
Oh,
That's exactly the reason why you were being prepared through all the hardships. So it took you from, not knowing why to, oh, now I absolutely know why this has happened to me.
Yep. It was like, as time went on with taking care of Gigi, it was easy. It had its moments where then we're watching like, TCM. I guess, is that like where the older folks watch their movies?
Yes. Yes.
Is that what it's called, the channel?
Yes.
Or
TCM, it's the old, yes.
Yes, it's the oldies. We would watch movies together, and I'm like, wait, these movies are kind of corny. And she's like, but they're so nice.
They're good.
They're so good.
They're so nice.
So I felt like with everything I went through, now I have so much to offer to the world of love, because I understand pain at such a deep level.
At such a young age as well. And you're going to use that. So I guess I'd like to ask you, what is some of the wisdom that you, walking through this path of your father, then what happened,
with me,
with you, and then, having the lupus, all of that, and then the grandmother, circumstance that you've been in with taking care of her for over 10 months. What was the strength and the wisdom that really got you through, and that you would like to impart to our audience today to just keep on? What were those, what are some nuggets of gold that you have?
The nuggets of gold are all about being pure. Purity, because I think purity is something that just, you can really love people from a special way, with pure intentions, pure just pure love. And I think when I shifted my focus on versus why is this happening to me versus I get to do this and I get to impart love into somebody else, that's where I learned gratitude, and I need to be kinder. And the kindness is what we all need.
Absolutely.
And not in a fake way. Like not in an overly kind fake way.
Not where it's obvious to people that you're trying too hard. Just in an everyday kindness of love towards others.
Just, hey, you're doing great. Don't lose the faith.
Don't lose the faith.
Don't lose the faith. It's really hard. I mean, the death of my grandmother was hard on my mom and my aunt, and my mom and my aunt and my uncle were very much involved, very involved too. So, they're still feeling it. We all still try to call my grandmother because we're like, well, where are you?
Right. She was a matriarch. She was a rock of your family, I'm sure.
She was.
That's beautiful.
She was Cuban, so she was full of spice and everything nice. And cinnamon and everything else.
That's beautiful. So, our scripture today that I have for Kristen is a good one, and it is, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." That's Matthew 5:4. And we also like to do what we call a seed of the day. And the seed of the day that I have for you, Kristen, is this: love and kindness are never wasted. They always make a difference. They bless the ones who receive them, and they bless the giver. And that's you. You're a special girl.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being willing to share your story. And I pray that it helps a lot of lives and changes a lot of people to know that the caregivers out there, that unsung, unseen hero, that person that never gets the thank you, the kindness of just being there, being heard, being seen. And I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful that you're willing to share this today with us.
Thank you.
Thank you today as we share in our grief stories. And remember that even in grief, there is growth.